Hello, Fort Bragg students and families. We are very excited to share with you some of the wonderful opportunities that are available to students and their families throughout the school year, and more specifically, over the summer. These opportunities are available through each of our school websites, through the Library Services page. I'm going to show you how to access this information to include ebooks for summer reading and enjoyment. We are currently at our district website. You may access any of our schools. The layout of each of our school websites are consistent with each other for easy navigation. On the left-hand side, you can find Library Services, and within the Library Services page, there are a variety of databases and research sites for our students to increase their learning. This same information can be found in the OPAC Encore in the upper right corner, where we will spend the majority of our time today. Click on the Resources and Tools to access the various databases that are available to our students, the ebooks through Mac and Via, and even Tumble Books for an animated reading experience. Again, we're going to focus our time on Mac and Via. I'm going to show you how to access this site from home and or from your smart device. So at your home computer or your smart device, such as your phone or tablet, it is not PC or Mac specific, which is fantastic for each of us, as our resources may vary. You will see the same login access in either your computer or device. To begin typing in your school name, and I will use Sugar Elementary for today's purpose. The username, the user ID, and password. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to post the user ID and password for each of our schools on the school website. However, we do encourage students and families to contact the school's front office or information center for the username and password. They may provide it to you over the phone or via email per your request. We have encouraged each of our schools to send home this information prior to the summer break so that you would have access to it throughout the summer. Once you've logged into Mac and Via, you have a lot of options to go through. So right now it's sorted by category and how the titles are offered. There are over 1,000 titles in each of our school Mac and Via libraries, ebook libraries. You can access or sort each of our books through author, subject area, data publication, and a few more depending on the school and depending on the vendor providing the books to each of our school. Now you'll notice in some of our in each of our books, let me go back to categories, and I'm going to start with graphic novels, and let's do inventions and inventors. Okay. When I click on the More Information link, you're going to see a lot of information here. What I want to draw your attention to is down here under the reading programs, the reading levels in particular. So the reading level of this book is grade 3, 5th month of grade 3. Alright, so this is right about the middle of the school year level for a 3rd grade student. The interest level of this book is for grades 3 through 6. And at the Fontes and Pinnell level of Q, and that's our reading records, our running record level. You may find more or less information on each of our books depending on the vendor, and because we've tried to solicit, books are provided from a variety of vendors, they do not all have the same and consistent information provided on the books or with the books. So we apologize for that. However, each of our books do have a reading grade level appropriate listing. To access the book, you can click Open Now. And the book will open. You can navigate with either the arrows on the side or arrows at the bottom. Some of our books, as a graphic novel, it looks similar to a comic book, but it's very engaging for our students. Some of our books down in the bottom have a variety of options here, so you can change the color toning, invert the colors depending on the need of the student reading, single page or double page, expand it. Some options have a play button right between here that allow the book to be read aloud to the reader to enhance their abilities. Okay. You may also notice the backpack in the upper right hand corner. That backpack will provide an opportunity for students to reserve or save some books that are their favorites. Beginning next school year, the school year 2015-16, DoDEA will be providing login codes, user IDs, and passwords to each of our students so that they can access their ebook backpack virtually. However, as a parent over the summer, if you would like to create a login for your child, you can click on the login button. In the pop-up, click Register and create a username. We encourage pseudonyms or avatar names. We do not encourage full names, real names, or PII. Most of our students will use an initial combination. Password, if you create it, you must remember it. We do not have access to reset your passwords. The optional information, we request that you do not complete it because it will show up in the McAnVIA database, and we must follow PII strictly. So once I've saved it, there's my username or my welcome. I can now add this to my favorites. And when I go to my favorites under my backpack, I now have this book, and I can access it. So if I've started reading it, I add it to my favorites, I can continue reading it later in the day or the next day and pick up where I left off. I can also check out the book, and it will tell me a due date. I can check it out up to 3 times, and at that point, we'll return it. Some books are downloadable, and that means you should be able to download it to your smart device so that you do not have to be connected to an internet source, wireless source, or use your data. You should be able to download it to your device or your computer at that time and take it to an area that does not receive that access. Again, this same login screen will be what your smart devices access and show. So now if I log in, I have access to it. This is McAnVIA. This is one of our fantastic resources here at DoDEA. We encourage you to access the other databases to encourage your learning, exploration, and research throughout the summer. Please stay safe, and we'll see you next school year.